We are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Short Convos podcast. We're getting close to calling it a Christmas special at this rate.
Well, as I was going to jump in there actually and say, should we call it our Christmas special? Because hitting the bell, we quite often, or we do have a shutdown over Christmas, and I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't mind a shutdown from everything, so we
We
could share
are
some
on
of
the
the
level.
outtakes, and then we'll get back in the new year. So, should we call this our Christmas special?
That sounds good to me. Welcome to the Christmas special.
If you joined us just for this Christmas special, I'm JC Warrior of Light, and this is...
And as Miralai, and this is the Short Convos podcast where we discussed all things life and productivity
Christmas
and personal
special.
development, and of course, Christmas today, amongst other things, I'm sure, nonetheless. I can't even remember where we left off last time we spoke.
No, I'm not even bothered.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very relaxed Christmas special.
I think we finished with the top three. So how about we start with the top three? And I would like to throw it out there. And I've got a legit top three this time, as your Christmas top three. Your Christmas top three.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Is there any limitations, or is the doors open?
Would you like me to start? We can fire off each other because we're probably going to be synchronized completely.
Oh, you think? I don't know if we'll be as synchronized with this one. You start us off. We can go one for one if you like.
As long as it's from the 1st of December, not before, I can take it if it's before, but I'm engaged from the 1st of December. Christmas music, because this kind of ties into last week as well, doesn't it? Christmas music. I like Christmas music at Christmas. I'm all good for it. I spoke to someone today and they said they're allowed one Christmas song in the office every day, and I was like, nah. Like I forget. I think it's Magic. They're playing non-stop Christmas music, and I'm like, yeah, I'm great for that. So I won't go into the full discussion of the best.
I was going to say we're going to get real meta.
Yeah, but just Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is coming to home. That's definitely up there. So yeah, that's my first Christmas of the top three.
So I would say we're not going to be in sync on these because I'm not a big fan of Christmas music. No. Ones and zeros. I'm a Grinch. I'd tell you what it is. There's some I like, but the most of them I don't like. And I think it's just because, I guess, just too much repetition, I guess. But I agree with you that from the 1st of December, play them. I'm not gonna moan, but before the 1st of December, I'm gonna have a go at you. My first one, I'm gonna go for the meal itself, the Christmas meal. Like I said, I cook for my family these days, but I do enjoy just sitting down, getting everyone around the table, putting all the phones away, all that good stuff, and just enjoying a really good meal and taking your time with it, or at least trying to not
talk us through the plate, please, Az, because you're actually whetting my appetite now. And as you spoke, I was getting senses and smells and tastes, but I don't know what I'm looking at. So the plate is before me. What am I getting?
So we are, I guess, say non-traditionalist. We don't do a turkey at Christmas. We do a rib roast. So it's a beef roast. I try to cook it so that if you like it very pink, that's in the middle. But if you're a bit more on the well done side, you can have that on the outside. So it's a rib roast in the middle of the table, and that's going to be the key to your plate. Obviously, roast potatoes. If we need to go into detail, Maris Pipers, cooked in. We don't do the whole duck fat thing. I've got a vegetarian wife, and my mum is really sensitive about animal fats. Things like bacon fat and all of that, she's not up for it. So cooked in vegetable oil, but crispy as they come. Honey glazed parsnips, because we love a parsnip. Fresh vegetables, generally speaking, green beans, broccoli, carrots, all the good ones. And of course, the king of the roast, the Yorkshire pudding. I don't know where you stand on Yorkshire puddings, but for me, it's not a roast without a Yorkshire pudding.
It has to be a Yorkshire pudding. Now, I would go as far as saying if, we're going the full meat trimmings crackling as well, but then we're starting to get into a bit of a Sunday roast rather than
but I'm up for crackling. They can be there too. That's fine. And then the gravy is very important. It has to be.
I don't do gravy.
What do you mean you don't do gravy
I
at
don't
all?
like the sloppy mess. No, I just don't
Not
like that.
even
I
to
like
dip, like as a
Nope.
wow.
No, I like a sauce like a what's it? The pudding, the not a pudding, but I can't think of it. The white stuff that's on your plate.
Bread
Bread and butter
sauce.
pudding. Yeah, bread sauce or whatever it's called. Yeah, I like that. I get enough moisture from the veg.
Wow.
Like,
You
yeah,
must be
any
a
kind of
real
gravy.
minority there.
Yeah, I am. I am. But I do
I
like
can't think
to
of anyone who doesn't like a gravy.
have all my plate properly laid out, and the
Yo,
gravy just messes it all out. Messes it
you know
out.
what I
But
saw and
no,
thought of you? I was going to buy it for you for Christmas. I'm going to tell you because I'm not buying it for you. A mess dish with all the compartments for foods.
keep talking.
So
Keep
for anyone
talking.
who's on the audio, JC has just darted off to get what I assume is going to be a divided plate of some kind because someone has already thought of this and bought it for him. JC's quite particular about food if you're new to the podcast. So yeah, I can see him
I'm
returning
quite
slowly but
particular
surely.
about people and everything.
Please describe this for those on the
So
audio.
it is a plate. Think of something similar to what you would have had at school, where you can put your mince pie, your little potatoes, your spuds, your turkey, pigs and blankets, as yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes, yes,
there,
yes, yes.
and all the trimmings, park and whatever the word is, plate.
So ours was going to go even further to physically divide
Yeah,
your pieces for you,
yeah,
but
that's
we
where I'm missing. I am missing those
okay. Well, I
vegetables.
know what to get you for next time.
Yeah,
That's on the list. Right. Well,
yeah.
yes, the Christmas dinner I think goes without saying. That's a big deal. Are you an overindulger at Christmas? Like, do you eat to the point of being sick, or do you eat to comfort and call it there? Do you go back for seconds?
My eating habit is I can just eat. I usually stop eating because I'm bored of eating. So I eat really slow to start with, and that always drags the process out. But Christmas dinner, as in we're keeping it Christmas themed, I'd quite often have like three. What I'll go back for thirds.
Oh, good.
So I won't stop. Lauren has a thing where she will eat to the point of feeling sick because she enjoys the food so much. I just feel I can just usually eat, just eat and eat and eat and just don't stop. It's just I take so long eating, I get bored of it and can't be asked anymore usually.
You should really put that to the test one day. Take
See how
something
much
that
I
you,
can eat.
yeah. See, maybe you're a competitive eater and you just didn't know it, and
Didn't
you've
know
got this
it.
bottomless pit going on.
Well, like I did 7 or 9 desserts on Dad's birthday in November. So
I think you've got a secret talent here, Jay. I think if you want to get back to competition, this might be a way to go.
I can't speed eat. I definitely can't speed eat. So
That's
I
all right. The
can't.
volume, just
Yeah.
go for the weight.
I suppose we could time lapse it, couldn't we?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's a guy we can do it.
As I think our synchronicity might be out, you go for the second thing for us then. Your
Okay.
second.
Second thing for Christmas, and we're talking Christmas in general. I'm gonna go with the morning, as in getting up. But for me, it's not. It's less. I don't have kids yet, so I think in a few years it will be about going to the tree and giving the kids their presents and all of that. But for the time being, it's the slow morning. It's the get up when you get up. It's the make the hot chocolate or the coffee or whatever it is. I think it should be a hot chocolate Christmas morning, personally. And it's, if you've got your Christmas PJs or whatever your comfiest comfies are, and just starting the day very relaxed. And then everything goes back to food with me. It's then, nice breakfast. And you set up for what's going to be a good day regardless.
From that morning, do you have a ritual like when you start to talk about the Christmas morning? We have quite a ritual, and I know you did mention it the other week, didn't you? Things are a little bit different with Anne, for instance, German tradition, things like that. But do you have a ritual you've kind of followed?
I have done, but yeah, it's definitely going to change this year. So Anne's actually not really spent the last 2 Christmases with me because of her work, because she's worked at a place. It's been horrible. I've not enjoyed it. But we've got Christmas together this year. So we haven't actually even discussed. We haven't set out the itinerary yet. So we have to sit down, have a meeting, draw up a spreadsheet, and figure it out.
Put some ones and zeros on.
Ones
Do you
and
do
zeros.
stockings? Do you do stockings?
I'm gonna say no because we haven't got any in the house yet. Unless we do. Sorry.
I've still got the same. I don't have it with me. I'll show you. Otherwise, I still have the same stocking from when I was a child that my nan knitted me.
So I like the idea of stockings, so maybe that's just something I need to sort out. It's just
like you say about the day, our morning starts like obviously the evening you put out the mince pie and everything for Santa's whiskey and that, but our morning always starts with stockings. So Santa delivers all the presents in the stockings at the end of the bed, and then as in stocking presents, and then you have all the kids pile on to our bed. I usually go and poke them at like 5 a.m. or something. Then they pile onto our bed, and then we take it in turns, opening the presents from the stockings. And that's our tradition. Then it's down for breakfast, usually smoked salmon and scrambled egg and orange juice. Yeah. And then you do your tree presents. Like the more substantial stuff.
You do breakfast before presents.
No, we do stocking presents first. You see.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I don't know. I'd say that's a bit controversial as well.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like in like every Christmas movie ever, the first thing everyone does is run and sit under the tree.
Yeah, no. You all got to sit on the bed.
But hold on, this is your delayed gratification thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
all right. It
but we've always
now.
done that as a family. I think Mum and Dad used to do it with me because I was allowed to open my stocking on my own at home in the bedroom. Because if I woke up early, I would open that and I'd always have a Game Boy game in there, and they'd always get us laying. So
smart. Good move.
That was good. I just get too excited opening all the stocking presents for the kids. So
right, I'm saving that for when I have kids. That's a genius plan.
Yeah,
done.
That one works.
I think it's back to you.
Yeah, my second one, which is presents. One of my favorite things of Christmas is presents. Not just that, I actually dislike the whole commercial side of it. I do dislike that and the sort of keeping up with the Joneses and all that. I don't like that about it. But I like the whole giving. I like the whole receiving, and I like the whole surprise of it as well. So I'd quite happily not do a list or ask for something, whereas Lauren's completely opposite. She have a list and want to get what's on the list and be disappointed, not because she didn't get it, but she'd soon have something on the list, if that makes sense. And I've always just really, really enjoyed it. And I think it's because I've always been a family, and we've always been a way that we've not been extravagant all the time. It's not been walk into a shop and buy that because we want it. You buy stuff because you need it. And I think Christmas is that time where sometimes you save something that you wanted for Christmas. Where you at with presents then? Because you nodded when I said presents.
Yeah, well, I just get it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people would try to say that it's not a big part of it. They'd like to say, no, it's not about the present, but that's kind of about the presents, isn't it? It's fine. We're all grown-ups here. We can admit it. That's what it's about. It's fine. But I also agree with where you're coming from, that it's not about, I don't think it should be about just packing as much stuff under the tree as possible. And you don't need to buy anyone's love and show your love by spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds on them. But I think the thought that goes onto it is important. I really struggle with people buying me gifts because my family are the type that always say, "What do you want for Christmas?" and I'm always the type to say, "I really don't really want for anything. So just get me whatever you like whatever you think I'll enjoy. I'm good with it." And then they get me something and there's no way I'm going to enjoy it. And then we get that whole issue. But they like to buy me clothes, but I've tried to explain the whole minimalist thing to them, and that I just wear black t-shirt, white t-shirt. And then they buy me a red t-shirt. And I'm just like, thanks.
You're gonna wear that. Do you buy yourself a present, or do you leave that to just receive? Do you gift yourself something at Christmas?
Sometimes, it's not a hard and fast rule, but if the thing that I did have in mind doesn't end up under a tree from someone, or it's too much to ask, then I do see it as a good time of year to go right. It might not be the logical or sensible decision, but I'm going to splurge, and this will be the time I get it. So yeah, it
So have
happens.
you been naughty or nice this year?
I I feel like I've been naughty all year, and like this year, I've probably bought myself more presents for myself than I should have. So it's yeah, I couldn't even pin one and say, yeah, that was the Christmas present this year. It's not been great in that sense. So
Well, you
no.
don't even. So when you say a Christmas present, like it's only a Christmas present if you get it at Christmas, though. You can't backdate them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but then no, well then I've been nice because I'm not going to buy myself anything for Christmas, but I bought myself a lot for 2020.
But if you're nice, surely you get something at Christmas.
Oh yeah, sorry, wrong way around. Then I've been naughty.
How did you do with how well did you do with Christmas shopping this year? Are you all done? Can you say, or will ears hear?
Ears will hear, but it is.
Oh
It is
yeah, I can
all.
see it. As
It
it's
is.
pointing for the audio version, as it's pointing to a very festive tree with presents bigger than the tree under it.
Yeah, we get a small tree so we've had, this is the first year with a new tree. We've actually had the same tree for 3 years in a row, which gets planted back in the garden and then comes back indoors. But this year I killed it, so we had to get a new tree. But I did 3 years. That's all right.
Yeah,
I'm all right with it. So
impressive.
yeah, fresh tree. But yeah, presents are done. I mean, the wife is German. So these things get done early. We are efficient. We are organized. We are prepared. And we don't like the December madness that happens. Like the shops, then it takes a turn in December. And I get like I can't deal with it too much. So I like it that we try to get. Yeah, exactly. But in December it gets a little bit crazy, and I start to get a little bit killy, for want of a better word.
your third thing, Az? What's your third thing? So I got presents, and what else did I say?
You said.
What did I say?
Presents and
music, Christmas
music, and we had the meal, and I had the morning. And my last one is a bit of a new one for this year, but I've now got a good reason for it. Is Christmas movies. And I've got a strong Christmas movie recommendation for anyone who hasn't seen it, because I've always had an issue with Christmas movies. Rant o'clock. Apologies in advance. I can't stand Christmas films that don't.
Hang on, let's just clarify this. You're having a rant, right? We're not going to fix this.
We're not going to fix this. It's been fixed, actually. To be fair, the fix is my movie recommendation, but I'm just going to have a very quick moan about it, and then we'll get past it nice and quickly.
You're allowed.
I'm happy with The Grinch because it's in another universe, it's in another world, and that all works fine. What I don't like is Christmas films that act like Santa is a thing, and he comes down, invades your home in the middle of the night, puts gifts under your tree, disappears in the middle of the night, and everyone in the world is cool with it. When we're the most PC nanny culture in the world, this random guy breaking into your house and putting random stuff under a tree for your underage child is absolutely fine. I take issue. None of it's ever explained. In any film, do they ever explain why all of this is okay and why we can get away with it? So I've
just because it's come to mind, and I'll forget otherwise. Excuse me, interrupted. But did you ever watch Red Dwarf?
Yes.
There was an episode, like the original series, there was an episode called Backwards, and they thought they'd landed back on Earth, but everything was in
reverse. I remember the episode.
And they said, Father Christmas is a right bastard here. So he comes around every year, creeps into houses and steals all the children's presents. This is controversial. They said Hitler's a saint because he liberates all these millions of people from death.
Oh man, I remember the episode really well, but I don't remember those their bits.
Yeah.
But
anyway, back to it. Yeah, I interrupted. So Grinch is all right.
Grinch is fine, but yeah, the majority of Christmas films, I'm just like, someone needs to address the story of Christmas, and not just pretend that in movie land it's all okay and everything's fine. So anyway, Arthur is my Christmas recommendation. Don't know if you've seen it.
Hey guys, as again from the Short Convos editing suite. I made a mistake and I apologize. I've just recommended the film Arthur to you for Christmas. That is actually a prime example of one of the Christmas movies I can't stand. The movie I meant to recommend was Claws. So every time you hear me say Arthur for the next part of this podcast, I actually meant to say Claws. To clarify, Arthur, very bad Christmas movie. Claws, very good Christmas movie. Back to the show.
I
Right.
haven't. No.
Right. Animated film got nominated for an Oscar for like best animated movie, and it should have won it after watching it. And obviously, I don't want to spoil it for you now because it's Christmas time and you're going to go watch it. But it fixes everything. Every problem I've ever
Is
had with a
Arthur a
Christmas
cat?
film,
Is it a cat? I'm thinking of a cat for some reason.
no,
Has a cat got
no,
anything
it's
to
not.
do with it? No. Okay,
Nothing
all
to
right.
do
I'm
with
going to
it.
write this down. Keep telling us. I'm going to write this down.
It,
Arthur.
it it answers all the Christmas questions. It fixes every issue you've ever had with a Christmas movie. It tells a nice story. It delivers a nice message. It's family friendly, but good for adults as well. Mwah. Christmas
Did
movie.
you watch this recently then?
This year was the first year seeing it. It's a recent film though. I think it came out in the last couple of years, maybe
Okay.
2018.
Okay. But
But
Arthur does it.
goes right up there, and I've now enjoyed a Christmas film other than.
Could I just ask, because this has come up in conversation before, what is a Christmas film?
So
What?
you're asking whether or not Die Hard counts, right?
But it was set at Christmas.
It counts. It counts. It's a Christmas
Yeah,
film.
clearly it's a Christmas film. But
Yeah.
what about
Do
Lord
people
of the
deny?
Rings?
But then you're in Star Wars and all of this stuff because they just come out as a Christmas film. Right?
Yeah, for me, Lord of the Rings is a Christmas film because we went every year on Boxing Day to see it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it's the kind of film where, because it's such a long film and a long series of films, the time to sit down and watch it is Christmas, right?
Christmas.
So
But it's not a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie, but I would associate it with Christmas time.
Yeah.
It gets
So we're going to say
pass.
there's association and then there's Christmas movies.
Yeah, but I would say Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. It's at Christmas time, isn't it? So
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I feel like we're gonna like do Christmas bingo at this rate with your third one. I feel like we've ticked off all the big bits of Christmas.
Now, I don't have a name for this. I actually thought about this beforehand. I came prepared, but I don't have a name for it. It's a moment, and it's a moment that I notice every single Christmas. And you're talking about like the morning as being your favorite time. This is my favorite time of Christmas, and I can remember many times as a child sitting at this time. It's probably, depending on when you eat dinner, it's probably about 5 o'clock, so it's dark. Everyone's eaten. It's past the point at which everyone is like falling asleep because they're full. So we've eaten, but everyone's woken back up. There's usually music playing, or I don't know, you've got something on the telly like a Christmas movie. The grown-ups, so now myself included, is a little bit merry, and it's just this moment. Call it family because it's always with family. I don't know how to explain it, but this moment is my favorite time of Christmas. And the only other time that I can explain it is when we go to competitions, for instance, and you're so distant from the rest of the world, you exist only in a bubble. You go to the tournament and back, and but this bubble is even smaller, and it's like such a precious bubble that only comes around at that very moment, because the morning can be a bit hectic, especially if you've got guests coming round. You know, the kids can go a bit crazy with presents. Obviously the food, you've got to concentrate, you got to eat, you got to, you know, do all of that. Yeah, and it's before it gets late and everyone's properly sloshed or falling asleep. Can you relate at all? Have you got any
I know
name for this
exactly.
as?
I don't have a name, but that's what I was trying to think of while you were talking about it. But I know exactly the moment you mean. And I guess it's that whole being in the moment thing where everything has just settled, and the ripples in the water have stopped, and you can just see the reflection in the pond, and everything is just good.
But it's not just Christmas. It's that moment. It's that
Yeah,
moment it
I
takes
know
in
what you
it.
mean.
You're just ultimately, I think, ultimately happy in
Yeah,
that moment.
I think that's the right word. I think that's the right word. Your belly is full. Your kids are happy. Your wife is happy. Everyone in the house is happy.
You've got nowhere
You're
to go,
happy. You got
nowhere
nowhere
to
to
be.
go. You got nothing to worry about. You're not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. You're just right here.
Call it the Christmas bubble, or should we call it the Christmas ball?
Christmas ball, but you have to say it with a little bit of a twinge to know that it's
Yeah,
not just a ball on a tree.
yeah. Or
Do you
just
have
got to know,
funny
haven't you?
baubles on your tree?
Oh yeah, we got hundreds.
Oh, good. Okay,
And
just
we
checking.
get a new one like every year. You have to, don't you?
Yeah, just all right. I'm just checking that
We
weird baubles is a thing.
yeah, we got doggy treat ones this year.
Nice.
We had
We got
Lego
a
the other year.
sloth.
A sloth? Can I see
A
it? My
sloth.
tree's
Yeah, oh, yeah.
not
I'll go
closed.
get him.
I'd like to. So as is currently walking to his very well lit up and decorated tree.
I'm gonna try not to break him. I have a tendency to break these things.
Oh, he's genuine baubled up. Yeah,
He
that's
is
what we're talking. Yeah,
a
he's a fat
legit
sloth, isn't
bauble.
he?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's in the He's in the bubble.
And the beauty
He's
of
in the
it
Christmas
is,
bubble.
even if he turns, he just looks like a Christmas pudding or a turkey.
Yeah,
So from every angle, he does the job.
he's next level. He is.
He's pretty awesome. Stay. He's there.
And I can remember several experiences in this bubble. And one of the tougher ones was the first Christmas without my dad around. That was really tough, and it hit me really bad emotionally. And I didn't actually eat that well that Christmas. Looking back, I said at the time, "Oh, I don't feel very well," but it was clearly just stress and everything. And but what got me through, and then in the latter years, is realizing that, especially when you have kids, if you have lost older generations, like some people might be having their Christmas for the first time without nan and granddad, you're starting to create the new specialness for Christmas. And it took me a little while to transition that, but that's what I'm excited about now. There's always a moment, there's always a toast for absent friends. But
Sure.
then it's like, right, let's get on it. This is because I'm pretty certain to like the 10th degree that my dad would have felt the same thing at Christmas and made it special for me and my brother back then. And I
Yeah.
feel it's sort of like the torch has been passed.
Passed
But
on.
did I tell you the time that I spoke to my granddad about presents?
No,
And
don't.
there's two occasions with my granddad. He shone his greatest light at Christmas. He was just the nicest man just to be around at Christmas. He used to sit in his chair, used to have his scotch, his whiskey, and he wasn't I want to say the soul of the party. He wouldn't get up and run around and dance and like be silly with it. He was just the right man for Christmas. And one time he was round us having Christmas dinner, and I think it might have been the first time Lauren cooked for everyone. And he was late 80s, maybe 90 at the time. And he turned to Lauren and said, "Lauren, this is the best Christmas dinner I've ever had." And Lauren was like, "Yes, I've now accomplished Christmas to a 90-year-old, the best Christmas." So that was it. But no, this moment I refer to was everyone's, either comatose or coming out of coma, or music on everything. And I was only young. I turned to Granddad, and I realised that I had this huge pile of presents. When you get presents, or when you were a kid, do you put them all like neatly to one side, and then they neatly go to your room, and then you individually go and work? Yeah, we're all nodding here, aren't we?
Yeah, we're all nodding.
It's not chuck it to one side and then scream after. Nah, it's sensible, isn't it? Yeah,
of course.
So that's why we do the stockings that way. But yeah, no, back to it. And I realized, I turned to Granddad, and he had like a couple of gifts on a table. And I was looking at my mountain of presents. I turned it. I said, "Oh, Granddad, I was only young. I was like, you didn't really get much, did you, for Christmas? Like, I got all this gear, and you got like a new glass and a book." And he was like, "I don't need anything for Christmas. I just need you." And it was like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's just like that special bubble moment. It's like, yeah. You got any tales of Christmas? As you want to finish the show off with this Christmas special?
Tales of Christmas. So I don't know if this is a tale, but I'm very fortunate, and especially whenever I talk to you, I'm always reminded of how lucky I am. This year, fingers crossed, we get there next week. We will still have two grandparents. I will still have both my parents. All my siblings are in good health, and you just never know when it's going to be the last year, like you said, of that generation of people being in that room all together. So that's kind of my moment of that bliss moment you were talking about, where you sit there and you realize we're all around this table together, or we're all in this living room together, and it might be the last time. You don't know, but if it is, you're like, I'm really glad that this is going to be the last time, because it's just such a beautiful time to just take that memory picture and just save it in your head.
Do you cheers that to everyone? Do you go to the Last Supper? I dare you.
Do it this year.
You. Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it this year. So yeah, I think that's kind of, I haven't got a story for it yet, but I know eventually people are going to pass, and the group is going to change, and kids are going to start turning up, and then it will be the same. It will be that next generation, and doing it for the kids, because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day.
For us. Christmas is for us. Present.
Say that it's for them.
Right, I'm going through our episode features. As it's our Christmas special, it's also our end of year 2020 special, isn't it? So I think we want to make sure we tick everything off. So we've done our top three. We haven't done a quote yet, so we can finish on the quote. I think that's. Have you got a quote ready, Az? Did you have a quote ready?
I'll pull one up.
I'm pull one out good to bag. Go. We've done something food, haven't we? You've had a rant. I don't feel like I need a rant. I'm in a Christmas spirit. What are you gonna? You're gonna like? Obviously, we shut our business down. The martial arts. We don't train over Christmas. You're not gonna do any classes or anything in between, are you?
No, God, no.
No. So, what have you got? Any plans? Have you got any thoughts, or where you at with going into the new year? Shall we say? Let's think of further afield.
One thing I want to use this break for is to have a dopamine detox.
Okay.
Really, I want to get off of screens for a good couple of days, but without having to go camping or go somewhere to get away from them. I want to just put them down and read some books and write in a journal and spend time with my wife and just be in my space, because I feel like I'm just like triggered in dopamine, not like to so much the extent of social media and clicking on that, but we've spoke about with our screen time episode, just being on the screen, like checking the emails, replying to messages, making the phone calls. I just need that to stop for a good 5 days. I feel like that's what I need over the break. So I want to just get back in touch with stuff that I do that doesn't require LEDs.
Yeah.
That's my big thing for the break. Just family time, eat good food, listen to good music, but just not look at a device for a while.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. You?
I was thinking about this earlier actually, and like we shut down the club obviously, and I do legitimately like we're last class will be Saturday, and then I'm going to go in Monday, basically so I can satisfy my need to create a list, try and get through the list, and then literally go, that's it now, I'm done. And in that list will include a message to students saying, if you message, we're not going to reply till the 4th of January. So that's in my to-dos before we hit that. But I was thinking about it, and I won't enjoy a break unless I have something to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I find you just bottom out. So I'm looking at this year in particular, with the year that we've had, it's not a shutdown, it's a reboot. I feel I need to reboot myself. You know that little spinning wheel on whatever device you got when you first saw the line that goes across. I feel I need to do that. I just need to sit in that space of just rebooting, and I'm going to explore what that is. One thing I think I want to aim to do, as because I seem to want to task myself all the time with something, and that satisfies my need, is I'm going to aim to do a bit of yoga every day. So one day I'm going to play on my bonsais. I'm going to play on the camper. I'm going to, do whatever else with the kids. We've got a puppy and all of that. But every day I plan to do a bit of yoga, and even if it's just a 5-minute yoga flow, and to just see if that helps with the reboot cycle.
Yeah, I might join you on that one. I agree. You still got to keep a routine. I don't think you need to. I don't agree with the idea of you just drop everything and just be a vegetable for 2 weeks.
No.
Like, that's my worst nightmare. But I just think get out of the routine and do things that you've just not been doing or not had enough time for. And so this is the other thing. For example, you might do the bonsais, but you might only have 20 minutes because you've got to go teach class or you've got to go pick up the kids. But you can indulge things a bit more, you know, savor it a bit more.
I'm going to indulge,
that's what I want to do. I want to savor things and stretch them out and do them for as long as I want to do them until I don't want to do them anymore, rather than I've run out of time for it.
And the other thing I do every Christmas as well, or it's actually the New Year period. I used to do it every year camping, but the practicality of it with kids and family and everything else isn't always there at the moment. But I used to always do it camping. I always sit around a fire and I always plan my mission statement for the next year. That's one thing I do before we hit the 1st of January. I always do. That's a little ritual. Sit in front of fire. Man with fire, and just plan the mission statement for the next year. Usually 3 things that I'm going to accomplish. One of them is usually always inner peace, and head into the next year as that.
Do you reflect on the last year's one? So do you pull those out and see if you hit them? And
I've got them written down. So shall we?
Well, please, if you don't
Do you have
mind
anything
indulging.
Like this?
I've definitely got my year goals in my mind. I can go through them. I mean, this year's, it threw out what I wrote down in January because things took a bit of a topsy-turvy, but they've been adapted. But I'll let you. While you're pulling up.
I'm trying to find them.
So the original, I won't call it the free, but the things that come to mind that I remember back in the start of 2020 saying was one, I always try and do one for business, one for personal, and then if I feel like I need a third, then whatever the third is. So the business one this year was to up competitions and up the kind of level of my guys who are competing in kickboxing. Obviously, that took a massive nosedive after February by 0 tournaments taking place. However, we did maintain our fight training and advanced training, even if it was socially distanced and all the rest of it. So
that's a gold medal.
Yeah, we put systems in place so that if nothing else, we maintained what we had prior, rather than leaving it all to fall apart and losing it over the year. And if we did, we moved forward even by an inch, I'll count it as a win. My personal statement, I got married this year and it was a big thing. Woohoo! And thank you for being my best man. You were very good at it, if that's a thing. I don't know if you can win at being a best man, but you won.
Yeah, you can.
Did great.
You can.
You did. You get a gold medal for that. And that was just a big thing that I knew was gonna roll me into the next stage of life. You know, that comes with it. You know, buying a home together, planning to have kids, all the rest of it. So I knew it was the start of that next journey. So I just said to myself that, you know, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna go through with marriage, just make sure you do it properly and that you're fully committed. You did a lovely post on relationships recently. I think you should share it maybe for your quote today. You spoke a bit about marriage just at the end. I think today, it was for your parents' wedding anniversary.
Today.
And that was kind of what my personal goal was put the effort into your marriage and make it what you want it to be and what you envision it to be. So that was my 2020. So yeah, we got it there some way or another.
Well done. Did it. Well, I found it now. You know what? As I'm going to make a note, let's hold on to, because I got a different quote. Let's hold on to the marriage. Let's talk about that for January.
Another time.
So let's hold that on the next, the first podcast. We can talk about a bit of marriage. Or maybe this. What about we do one with you, Lauren,
with the wives.
With the wives. First one.
We've been saying about this. Done. Right. That's the plan.
Yeah. There you go.
Dun.
I've got this written down. What I've just realized is like it's a device, it's a screen, it's so useful, but it's actually my journal. It's actually my diary. And
mine is too.
I've never realized that. I've always had a bit of an obsession about notes, but also a guilty kind of pleasure with it. But I'm happy with it. I'm now happy, because this is my journal. And I've got a written journal that I quite often put things across, because I think there's a bit of a power with pen. But anyway, this is my vision mission statement, and this is always looked at with the fire. And my ultimate vision is peace and fulfillment. That's what I want to go out with having completed. The goals for this year was a house, because we're renting and we want to get a house, and that I think this whole year's kind of messed a few things up, and finances didn't kind of fall into place like expected, blah blah blah. So that didn't happen this year. A balance of life and work I wanted to get, and I think the COVID has helped with that. I think I've looked at things and created more of a system using other people and knowing what I'm effective at and such like. So I'm going to say I've been better at that. And we can ask the missus that. I'll ask Lauren to give her input on that one. I've got to write all this down. And then my third goal was winning success, as in with the competitions, much like you said. And the start of the year, we had a couple of competitions. We had a number of British champions from the dojo, and then CC won the Irish Open for the second time, which I had never done. I never won the Irish Open. I got silver, lost in sudden death. Don't mention that again. And James Meakin won a junior grand champion, which I never done at the Irish Open. So I feel the success of students now has surpassed what I've done. They don't have a legacy yet. They got to work on that. But the winning success was there, and I'm very much addicted to that. So looking forward to that. But I've actually written down things that I had on previous years, which is interesting, and I've made notes for next year to contemplate as well. So have you got any thoughts for next year, like New Year's resolutions, or are we not quite there yet?
I don't do New Year's resolutions in general. I find, especially like this year's a great example, where if you set a resolution, there's too much out of your control to manage the expectations. But I do try and set a statement for myself. And the statement for myself next year is to go beyond my perceived limits. So whatever I feel like the glass ceiling is, I want to smash some glass ceilings next year. I want to go beyond what, in my mind, are my limitations and the things that I think are as far as I can take stuff. I just want to blast through some of that.
And how are they measured? Is that by numbers, ones and zeros, or just self-fulfillment?
I think it's more by feeling. I think it's when I feel afraid of something, I need to then continue to press forward instead of rationalizing the fear and trying to create the barrier. I think that's the point of, I think the fear is the glass ceiling, and that's where I need to like dig deep and push a little harder for next year.
You said you divide your goals. I do too, and I've got it written down here. I divide them into family, because that's the most important thing, business goals, and personal goals as well. And I haven't really, I'm going to sit in front of the fire, but for 2021, I've already written down, I want to get more in touch with nature. I want to spend more time outdoors. And I want to be, I think it's already happening, more conscious, like, the David Attenborough thing that we did, and that we are nature. I've written flow. I want to get with the flow a bit more. I feel this COVID thing has kind of not helped things flow this year. So I definitely want to get more with the flow and just feel I'm ahead of the game of things, I suppose. Seasons. This is something that I think we've spoken before, but prior to this, I would like to get to a point where I can live more in touch with nature with the seasons, i.e. in the winter, do sweet FA, work and that related.
Hibernate.
Basically, hibernate. Not go and sleep, but basically not have to go out. Just be able to go, right, I'm just going to be at home for the family. I'm just going to fix up the house. I'm just going to do whatever in the garden. Yeah. So
that for me is like, it feels a bit more like an end goal. If I can get there earlier, it would be amazing. But that's something that I really resonate with, that idea of being able to go with the seasons. Because I do. In the summer, I am all go. I'm pumped. I'm ready to do it. But come winter time, I really am battling with myself from the beginning to the end of it. I get it done, I power through, but it is an uphill climb through winter. And I just feel like you're not meant to do it. You're not intended to be doing that at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you with that one.
And then the other note is selflessness. I really want to explore selflessness of basically giving to others. And I don't mean just by doing charitable donations or going to a shelter and working or whatever. I mean, yeah, we could talk about it in the new year. Just a deeper level of selflessness, just the way that you act all the time, kind of thing. So, well, I'm pretty cool to go into the new year now. Actually,
dude, I think we're ready. So, guys, we will take a 2-week hiatus.
Oh, we ain't done my quote yet.
Sorry, apologies. Apologies.
All right, you do that, then we'll do the quotes. Go, you do what you're gonna do. I interrupted.
2-week hiatus. We will try and throw up some greatest hits or something along the way. So please join us again in the new year, and we will continue to bring you this lovely, lovely show and lovely, lovely content. Thanks for any of you that have been listening and joining us and having these short convos with us. We've really enjoyed it.
Merry Christmas. Have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you filthy animals.
Season's greetings.
Quote time to finish it off.
You want to go first?
Are you going first? After you.
The secret to experiencing a wonderful life's journey is to continue making beautiful memories. From me dad's Tony's diary.
That is lovely. And I'm going to go I've been doing a lot of reading on Stoicism. So we'll talk about this here. This is a good January discussion because it goes on a lot with January stuff. So here's a good Stoic quote. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. And that is by Marcus Aurelius. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it.
Love it.
Marcus Aurelius. Very
I've got
famous.
What's it called? Not memoirs. What was it called? Memories.
Right. So that's one of the original Stoic books. So read that one, and you'll know exactly.
I've got it next to my bed.
Oh, amazing! See,
someone bought it for me for Christmas last year.
Sync. It's that's the one. You know it. You're in the right place. Boom. Wicked. Well, dude. Wicked. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And we will see you all on the other side.
Actually see you before, let's be honest. We're just going to be off camera, innit?
Boom. Peace out, guys.
See you later.